exciting. This is something that we've been wanting to launch at a forum like this. A lot of work behind it. We've spent like at least 3 odd quarters putting this together. So I hope you find it valuable and useful. Let me just set up the context for you very quickly. So I like to call it the era of doorstep retail. This is the era of doorstep retail. So it's time to gear up for the quick commerce flywheel because doorstep retail is here to stay. So before we get into more details, a quick show of hands. In the last 24 hours, how many of you went on a Blinkit, Zepto, Instamart, any of these, please? Raise of hands. How many of you went and ordered something? See, I see like at least 3/4 of you raise your hands. Day before, then I think everyone will be up, right? So that's how powerful this medium has become. It's super, super powerful. They're not just a bunch of apps on your phone anymore. They're your digital aisles sitting on your phone, available 24/7 to have stuff delivered to your doorstep. So what about it? So why do we have to discuss it as marketers in the room? That's the question to ask ourselves, right? So, if you've kind of, had any last-minute contingency or a craving, what you're doing is you're just getting onto that app and ordering it instantly, right? Be it chocolate, something you ran out in a party, or some home essential, which is absolutely crucial at that point in time. So primarily, earlier, we used to think it's just convenience, so we're doing it. But now, what's happening, it's becoming a habit, and it's becoming a deep-rooted culture in India. It is a habit. It's no longer just convenience. We are moving into a culture of ordering instantly, right? So that said, it has reached a point where we cannot ignore this culture, which is just growing stronger and stronger, and therefore becoming an integral part of retail media as a new growth engine. So that said, why are we talking about it? So at MMA, we have a think tank which we call Retail Media Network Ideas Lab. Yes, that's what it looks like. So this is a regional lab which we run across markets in APAC as a region. And we've been doing this for 2 years. We're very proud to be the first ones to have started evangelizing retail media as a full funnel channel and as a body across the region. We've been doing some deep work for almost the last 2 years as a part of this particular idea lab. And we've covered areas around e-commerce, we've covered marketplace, we've covered phygital POCs, and now quick commerce is just becoming a natural inclusion and has slowly found its way into it, which just seemed very organic to do. And obviously, there are many, many reasons why it's justified to do it. So of course, this is a little more about the work we've been doing. As a part of the Ideas Lab, we do thought leadership. We've just released a podcast series. We've done a bunch of great reports. And there are also some local reports done at an India level. But now onwards, can I actually have the clicker? Thank you. Yeah. OK. So we've also obviously evangelized retail media at Smarties year on year. And this is also something which we released last year as a part of when we were evangelizing e-commerce. But now, it's the era of quick commerce. And India has begun to deeply focus on it as a market as far as MMA goes. We do recognize that, the numbers clearly say that it's right now 10% of the overall e-tail market, and it's forecasted to become 20%, which is a $40 to $50 billion market by 2030. So that said, I just want to tell you a little bit about this flywheel. So MMA has been evangelizing this marketing flywheel globally. It's a very powerful framework where there are multiple, and I'm not going to get into details because today's conversation is about quick commerce, but there are many, many, many thought-through phases and steps to the marketing flywheel, which gets you the quick spurt of growth and sustained growth. So we now feel, that there is now we are at a time where the marketing flywheel and the quick commerce flywheel are ready to intercept, right? Because the quick commerce channel is now becoming a full funnel channel and is going to feed into marketing, and marketing is going to feed into quick commerce. So primarily, we are seeing a very, very powerful quick commerce flywheel emerge out of this journey. And of course, this is the flywheel we are talking about, where you're shopping, you're repeating, or you're finding. So it's a cycle which continues, where you start by finding, you shop, which is discovery, to shop, to repeat, and the cycle goes on, right? That said, what I want to now get into is a little bit about what we did when we were doing the playbook. So of course, there's a lot of work behind this playbook, a lot of strategy in it, which of course I'll let LD talk more about. But we also try to understand state of quick commerce, and one of the areas we tried to deep dive into was the festive aspect in terms of the role of quick commerce in festive seasons, which we are right now into, and where it really does become a very, very active channel, right? So the areas which we discovered contribute actively to it is essentially speed, impulse shopping, gifting, and another one, which came out interestingly, is trust in premium brands on quick commerce platforms. There were 70% of marketers who actually said that they do trust quick commerce when it comes to premium brands, right? So this is just a very quick snapshot of some of the insights from the study we did on role of quick commerce in festive periods, and it's also there in the report. So we basically figured that about speed is a driver which is contributing, which was opted as by 69% of the respondents. Impulse shopping is a driver which is contributed by 57% of the respondents. Gifting as a driver was 69%, and that's huge. We've started gifting. We started buying gifts on quick commerce channels, and it's not necessary it's only last minute. It's also because it's well cataloged, right? And the last one, which I was telling you about, so trust in premium has also shown a huge rise, right? So basically what we're saying is that the drivers of quick commerce are now quite penetrated. There's a lot of learning out there, but this is one slide which I'm not going to talk through because I'm going to let LD do that because he's best suited to do that as a practitioner. So what I wanted to tell you is that today, as we launch the playbook, which will be available for you to download as an e-copy, it is important that we as a community and as an industry stay committed to quick commerce, because it's here to stay. So if you're not going to accelerate your journey, then you're going to be left behind. So on that note, I want to call LD on stage, who has, basically for those who don't know LD, it's Lalatendu Das, who's the CEO of Publicis Media, South Asia,
Thank you. Thank you, Monica.
Wow, I didn't get that applause. Nevertheless, so that said, so he's going to help us deep dive a little more into the playbook, and then we're going to launch it. Over to you.
Thanks, Monica. It's both a pleasure and a privilege to be here. I realize I'm standing between you and the report unveiling, so I'll make it very quick. Over the next 3-4 minutes, I'll just try to unpack why did we write the report and why now. Second is, what are the key findings in the report? I'll let you read the report more, but I'll just treat this as a trailer. And lastly, if you are in the space of marketing, how to get the best out of this channel, right? So I'll touch on these three, and then we'll unveil the report, and I'll let you guys download and read. So first thing first, right? As I think this is a room filled with converts, so I don't need to preach to the converts already. But some of the numbers which I've highlighted in green, if you see the speed at which quick commerce is growing, right? We all know quick commerce is rising fast, but the numbers are really mind-boggling, right? And what is happening within this short period of time, the e-commerce space is getting into this specialization mode. For example, we have all these horizontal marketplaces, the traditional Flipkart, DMart, Amazon, JioMart, and all that. We have the hyper-value platform with Meesho. By the way, in many of these markets, particularly in Tier 2, Tier 3, Meesho is a big deal. And the established players are getting threatened. And then we have the quick commerce, You see the Amazon and Flipkart also joining the space, and that's the area which has already cornered 10% of overall retail value, and we have the vertical players. So in this space, today's focus is on the quick commerce, right, on this. And while the space is growing very fast, what we found that very few brands have really cracked the code of getting the value out of it, right? If you see the charts, right, the left-hand chart, what we asked this, or the survey that we did is what percentage of your sales are coming through quick commerce, and as you can see, majority, 60% are sub 10% right now. There are a few outliers who have done more. And the second part of the question is, do you see the quick commerce as actually a net new incremental, bringing net new incremental sales for you, or you see it's a channel shift? The actual net new incremental sales, we found around 20%. So 1 in 5 are actually getting net new sale. For rest of them, it is the same intent shifting from marketplaces or normal search, meta, and all that. So we thought, if this is the case, why, right? We tried to dig down. One of the frameworks that we use is what are the categories which are best suited for quick commerce, right? And if you see, we plotted different categories on the level of customer involvement. By that, the way we define is if you have to think, analyze before making a purchase, that would be a high involvement, and how frequently do you order? So, while if you see, there are certain categories which fall under the top left, which is the fresh produce, snacks, and all. These are the categories which are really taking off on quick commerce, what we call as the winning bets. And there are a lot of emerging categories also, right? If your brand is in this space, I think quick commerce is now mature and ready to take off. There are other categories which are already getting listed on quick commerce, but the takeoff is not that much. Probably the ROAS and all that thing would probably not be favorable. So that was the first thing on which categories are really taking off. And the second part is we looked at the consumer behavior as well. And we tried to understand what happens in the traditional e-retail, which is the horizontal marketplaces mostly, and how the behavior shifts when it comes to quick commerce, right? So some of the interesting thing, and we kind of looked at all the stages, because as Monica said, we look at a full funnel value here. Different funnel stages, different behavior. So first one, if you think awareness and discovery, we are looking at a lot more application of contextual ads when it comes to quick commerce. People are not coming here to browse. Before they come to the platform, they have some idea that what I'm looking at, right? The second is the search on quick commerce is becoming more SKU driven, right? To give you an example, it's not like people are coming and searching atta, maybe some atta, but atta 5 kg pack, right? Versus in marketplaces, it's usually the category search, a little bit broader, versus in quick commerce is getting really sharp. When it comes to consideration and evaluation, it's again a very different story. People are not spending too much time in comparing, reading product description pages and all, and making up a mind, right? By then, it's like 2 or 3 choices. So as a brand marketer, you need to be in that consideration set right up front. Purchase decision is a lot more dependent on availability, because here is the key factor is instant gratification. And therefore, if you are running a dark store in certain areas where your consumers are, just make sure that there is no stock out, right? And therefore, how are you doing the assortment planning? How are you doing bundling planning and pricing promotion, whatever you're running? Make sure that the intent doesn't get wasted, right? That's the part. And in terms of, if you think post-purchase engagement, we are seeing a lot of application of gamification, push notification to nudge people to come back, mostly for periodic purchases, right? So those are the behavioral shifts that we saw. And the last piece is, therefore, what does it mean to the marketers in the room? Monica touched upon this, find, shop, repeat. There is a lot of techniques we have explained in the report. I'm not going to spend time in explaining each of these. For that, you just have to download the report and read. Just moving forward, all this has been made possible by the team here. Gautam, Anubhav, Anshul, we have also Siddharth, Ashish, and Rashi somewhere in this room. Please catch them. And last but not the least, we are very thankful to the industry practitioners who contributed. Some of the names are here, but also 80 odd respondents. Some of you are probably sitting here. Thank you very much. So with that, maybe we jump to the next phase of really unveiling the report.
Lovely. Thank you so much for that, LD. And may I call for, ask Monica to join us and also call for the unveiling now. The launch of the Quick Commerce Playbook India 2025.
LD.
Ready? Okay, let's do a countdown so that we all can do a countdown. Everyone together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Quick Commerce Playbook India 2025 brought to you by MMA Global India and Publicis Media, Publicis Commerce.
Congratulations.
Can we have one copy for both of them, please, for the picture? One copy for both of them. Let's have a picture with both of you all holding one copy each.
Thank you.
And then, as he said, that a lot of people have worked behind this, a lot of hard work has gone into it. May I invite both the teams that have worked on this on this playbook to please come up on stage for a group picture. From both, from Publicis also and from MMA also, teams that have worked on this playbook, kindly come up for a group picture. And let's have a few more copies of the magazine, of the playbook. We will be showing you all a QR code shortly to download the digital copy of this playbook.
Call Tanya. Okay.
Anybody else remaining? Lovely. Let's have a round of applause, baby, everybody.
Wow, Tanya is...
The Quick Commerce Playbook India 2025. Can we have a copy here? Okay. Look at the main camera, please. Lovely. Congratulations to all.